makes sense to me. If I got a son, of course he gonna do what I do, and he gonna try to be better than what I did.
Right. Verse 48. And everyone that heard of the acts of Mardon, the son of Nimrod, would say concerning him, from the wicked goeth forth wickedness.
Here's a new saying now, brothers and sisters, going out. Here's a new slogan going out in the land. What did it say?
From the wicked goes forth wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it became a proverb in the whole earth, saying, from the wicked goes forth wickedness.
All right, hold that, prophets, in the book of Jasper. Let's go back to the book of Genesis, chapter 11, brothers and sisters. We're going to see what happened here in the Tower of Babel. Go to chapter 11, prophets, and you can read verse 1.
And the whole earth was of one language.
Like the book of Jasper just said.
And of one speech.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar.
Shinar. Didn't we just see Shinar?
Yes.
Okay, sure.
And they dwelt there.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3, and they said one to another, go to, let us make bricks, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar.
Uh-oh.
And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
Now, but you see this, the Most High recognize this, that if you are of one mind, that's like that collective stuff. That's when you get that board stuff in Star Trek. The board is of one mind. They're collective. These people were a collective, okay? They have one language, one belief, one system, right? This teaching of Christmas got spread it out, and these customs got spread it out, just like the languages when the Most High destroyed the Tower of Babel. That got spread all throughout the earth. It was spread throughout the whole earth. That's why you can find Saint Nick in Europe, in China, in different parts of the world. That's why this is out here. Okay? Keep reading, Papa. Papa, you got something you want to bring out?
Verse 7, go to, let us go down and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel. Because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, And from this did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth.
So, and that's what we're talking about, brothers. This right here, this custom of a people, the languages got all scattered throughout the whole earth. Throughout the whole earth. Okay? Where we at? We still in the book of Jasper, Prophet?
Well, that's where you want us to be. We were just in Genesis chapter 11 when we read those verses.
All right, yeah. Go back to the book of Jasper, chapter 7, verse 26.
You went back to 26? You weren't at 26. All right. And the death of Methuselah? Why would you do that?
Oh, I'm sorry, Prophet.
I know where I left off.
Well,
47. And all the earth was of one tongue and words of union. But Nimrod did not go in the ways of the Lord, and he was more wicked than all the men that were before him, from the days of the flood until those days. And he made gods of wood and stone, and he bowed down to them, and he rebelled against the Lord, and taught all his subjects and the people of the earth his wicked ways. And Mardon, his son, was more wicked than his father. And everyone, verse 48, and everyone that heard of the acts of Mardon, the son of Nimrod, would say concerning him, from the wicked goes forth wickedness. Therefore it became a proverb in the whole earth, saying, from the wicked goes forth wickedness. And it was current in the words of men from that time to this one. Verse 49. And Terah, the son of Nahor, prince of Nimrod's host.
He's the prince of Nimrod's host. Nimrod elevated him, right?
Right. Was in those days very great in the sight of the king and his subjects. And the king and the princes loved him, and they elevated him very high.
Very high.
And Terah took a wife, and her name was Amphilo, the daughter of Cornebo. And the wife of Terah conceived and bare him a son in those days.
Okay.
Terah was 70 years old when he begat him, and Terah called the name of his son that was born to him Abram.
Abram. Who is Abram, bro? Abram is the first name given to the first patriarch. Okay. Abram later became Abraham. Nimrod hated him. They tried to kill him like they tried to kill Christ when he was born.
Because the king had raised him in those Abram, so his son that was born to him, Abram, because the king had raised him in those days and dignified him above all his princes that were with him.
Okay. So we wanted to bring out some history on Nimrod, brothers and sisters. This is valid information, accurate truth, giving us the understanding on why we do what we do on this so-called holiday on December 25th. The prophet's got more information to bring out concerning the well-paid information here, the site on Nimrod. Let's go back to that, prophet. Let's just go right back to that site there when it was talking about Nimrod.
All right. So as we stated, after Nimrod's death, his so-called mother wife Semiramis propagated the evil doctrine of the survival of Nimrod as a spirit being. She claimed a full-grown evergreen tree sprang overnight from a dead tree stump, which symbolized the springing forth unto new life of the dead Nimrod. On each anniversary of his birth, she claimed Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree and leave gifts upon it. December 25th was the birthday of Nimrod. This is the real origin of the pagan Christmas tree.
So this person you looking for, Santa Claus, is really the spirit of Nimrod bringing gifts? So-called?
I mean, yeah, if you want to put them all together. Yeah, this is where the customs come from.
Okay.
This is where the customs come from.
Okay.
Traditionally, a Yule log was burned in the fireplace on Christmas Eve. And during the night, as the log's embers died, there appeared in the room, as if by magic, a Christmas tree surrounded by gifts.
Okay. So this is traditional history being brought up by the prophets. I remember prophets growing up that the night before Christmas, right, on Christmas Eve, my father or my mother would put a log in the fire. And they would sit downstairs, drink their coffee, put us to bed, you know, and I can hear the log popping in the fire, you know. So this is a tradition of man that was given to us by our forefathers, passed on generation up.
This was a tradition and a pagan tradition of a disobedient Nimrod.
It sure
and
was.
his wife. It's not, it's man, but let's recognize what's really being brought out here, the simulation, how we developed it and put nice things on it, and giving it a name. Christmas Eve, we have Christ in the name when Christ has nothing to do with it. It should be Nimrod Eve.
Look, keep reading that, then we're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 10. Keep reading.
The Yule log represented the sun god Nimrod, as I stated. The Yule log represented the sun god Nimrod, and the Christmas tree represented himself resurrected as his own son, Tammuz. Please understand me. That you can talk about all these soft little warm fuzzy feelings all you want to. This is directly, first of all, Yashaya, which many identify as Jesus, was not born on December 25th, but someone was. And they make sure that you know that date. You know who was born on December 25th? Nimrod. You know who these customs line up with lifestyles and the storylines behind
the bringing
it.
Of gifts.
The bringing of gifts, the evergreen tree, the night before on a Christmas Eve or Nimrod Eve. It represents the Nimrod. the disobedient. He was lifted up and called a God because of his use of the garments that were given to him. To everyone in his surroundings when he lived during his day, he was great. He was mighty, but he went astray. He began to think it was just him and rebelled against the Most High. Please understand the seed of which you worship, where this comes from. How is this derived? It derived out of disobedience.
That is the spirit that started originally with Satan.
Absolutely.
Right? What did Satan say? I will be like the Most High.
That's right.
Pride was found in him, and he got kicked out of heaven for that.
Absolutely.
So that spirit is upon him, just like it was on Satan. It's an evil spirit. Okay. So people are saying, well, you know what? I don't believe it.
Okay, that's
I don't believe it, Elder, that the Christmas tree is in the Bible.
That's fine.
Oh, it's in there. Mm-hmm. Let's go follow us. We're gonna let you go right back to that article, Prophet, but follow us in Jeremiah, Jeremiah chapter 10. All right. We're called to get an understanding and to know what we do while we do it. Okay? We just don't do it. Find out why do you do what you do. All right? So we're going to go in Jeremiah chapter 10. We're going to see what the Most High got to say about this vain worship, this paganism.
Right. Jeremiah chapter 10, beginning at verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord spake unto you, O house of Israel.
Now, he's being real specific. He's talking to a certain people. He's not talking to the Gentiles. He's talking to who?
O house of Israel.
Israel.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Wait a minute. Who is the heathen?
The heathen are anyone who does not believe in the Most High and abide by his customs and his law and his practices that he has given the people. Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain.
Wait a minute. The customs of the people are vain.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we just read where these customs came from, right? Go ahead, Prophet. Go ahead, Prophet.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of his hands of the workman with the axe.
With what?
With the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
But you know what? I don't need, I'm going to say it, I don't need a GED, a high school diploma. I don't need a bachelor's, none of that to understand. When I hear that, growing up in this earth to this day and time for me, that's talking about a Christmas tree. Mm-hmm. Read that one more time, Prophet, if y'all didn't get that.
The customs of the people are vain, so don't learn them, the Most High says. For one cuts a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Lord, thou art great, and thy name is great in might.
And thou art great, and thy name is great in might. And the Most High told them, be not afraid, because there was a tradition back here in Nimrod. If you didn't do that, you probably would get put to death. If you didn't worship the way that they told you to worship, and before the king, you probably would get put to death. Okay?
Sure.
Prophets, I want you to bring out the definition of heathen in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. It's heathen pagan. It's called heathen pagan. She's bringing this out of the Zondervan Bible Dictionary for all who don't have the Bible Dictionary. Listen to this. This is the definition for heathen and pagan.
In the Old Testament, Goy is rendered Gentile, heathen, and nation, but it is usually used for a non-Israelitish people, and thus has the meaning of Gentile. Sometimes, however, it refers to the Israelites, according to Genesis 12:12, Deuteronomy 32:28. But the word ordinarily used for them is Am. In the New Testament, ethnos is the equivalent of the Old Testament goy or goyim. M is plural. Goy does mean Gentile, or goyim means Gentiles. That makes it plural in Hebrew. The Greek Hellenes is translated Gentiles. So in Greek, if you see Gentiles, it means Helen. And so this is where you associate, sometimes the Israelites are spoken of because they had taken on their ways. So when Israelites